Bitcoin's blasting through all-time highs and the alts are going with it. XRP's volume is exploding, over 8 billion in the last 24 hours. The price is moving along nicely as well. We've got Hester Pierce, Crypto Mom, giving us some info about crypto securities. I know. What about next week? More bullish momentum to come as crypto week happens?
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
All right, XRP fans, today is the big day. And you're like, bro, what are you talking about? Well, it's got to do with previous price action resistance points where the bigs took profit. We passed them. Does this mean we're going to go even further, bust on through to that 270, 280 mark? Well, we'll talk about it. But before we get into the news, you know the deal. Your comments come first. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. Starting it off, says John Connor, says Loomis and Warren ran from Brad. That's right, when Brad was in front of the Senate, they totally avoided asking him questions. Why? Because he knew he would slice and dice them. Yeah, for real. Of everyone on the panel, Brad was asked stuff the least. Lucas Pham says, the green is in, contracts go bird, don't forget to shave off profits from the pumps. The weekend is around the corner. Keep up the good work and vibes, Klaus. Well, I appreciate it. We're definitely seeing green on the screen. Now, some of the things out there aren't going up as much as we would like. A lot of the meme sector is still very, very soft, everyone. Kind of pay attention to that. ETH is getting close to that 3. Oh, I'm not done with the comments. We'll get into price action. Shane Wilkins dropping support on the channel. Thank you, Kenzer. Says thanks. Good morning, brother. It's still going up. Well, let's see how high this baby will go. This side's a lot of fun watching everything go up instead of down. Have a great day. Let me know if I need to sell everything. Well, we're getting to that resistance point, and this was the big thing, okay? Way back here on the 12th of May, we had the big sellout. Yeah, the institution sold out. I did a story on it where they sold out at 265 on 2 different days, all right? That was the 12th and the 14th of May. We're right at that point right now. So if we can keep pushing through this, go into crypto week next week with this optimism, this momentum running, BTC pushing all-time highs, I think we're going to be okay, everyone. Bitcoin sitting at 107,016.34 and ETH almost at 3. ADA 75 cents, XRP at 268. Let's get right into the news. Bitcoin breaks new ground at 118,000 plus. Now, the only thing that worries me about this is what if we get all those players that FOMO into Bitcoin at 118,000? What happens if it starts pulling back? Will they have the cash reserves to weather the storm? But screw that. Let's just stay optimistic in this video and have some fun. As stocks continue to react nervously to every new U.S. tariff headline, Bitcoin and the greater crypto market remains unfazed. That's right, everyone. The risk assets are starting to kick some major ass. That's why I got green in my background. Yeah, baby, it's rally week. It's steadily evolving into exactly what advocates have long envisioned, an asset detached from political turbulence. And that's the point of BTC and crypto. Unlike traditional assets, Bitcoin isn't burdened by supply chain vulnerabilities or corporate balance sheets. Instead, its price is driven by capital flows and investor conviction. And right now, that conviction is positive. You've got a bunch of optimism right now. I mean, like right now, building up that we're going to get some insight into regs and that we've got a chance of making regs happen. And the big news that came out yesterday, they're going to talk about taxes. And you're like, bro, but taxes are boring. Taxes are boring as shit, and you can't avoid them. The thing is, though, is if we know what the tax rules are in regards to BTC and the rest of the cryptoverse, that's going to free up a lot of frozen sideline money. All right, let's keep on learning. Bitcoin's new record lifts industry stocks ahead of crypto week in Washington. That's right, starting the 14th of July, the House of Representatives will debate 3 major crypto bills that are likely to provide the industry the regulatory framework that the U.S. has demanded. The lawmakers will discuss the Genius Act, which I think is going to go through fairly easily. The Clarity Act, which is the one that's going to be for the entire crypto market, right? Like the alts and the memes and all that kind of stuff. That we might have some trouble. And the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. That one, let's pass that one for real. And this has been dubbed as Crypto Week. It's a sharp reversal of fortune for a sector that had once threatened to flee offshore. Now, there's a quote in here that I wanted to share with you, and this is exactly the point I have been trying to make for months and months on end. This is from Yag Kuhner, head of derivatives at crypto exchange Bitfinex. This is what he said. We expect capital that was previously sidelined due to regulatory uncertainty to re-enter. Even if the final passage stalls, the optics of legislative engagement are bullish. Boom, that's what I've been talking about. There is money on the sidelines, and waves of that money is going to get released as things thaw, as we get more insight on regs, as we get closer to ETF dates, as we get closer to all these other things. So crypto isn't going to be like a tidal wave, right? Where all of a sudden one day you have the God candle. No, it's going to come in waves, because think, there's still businesses out there, plenty of them, that aren't going to invest in crypto until we get the actual regs themselves. So even though they see the pump that's happening on the screen, they're going to be sitting there in their board meetings going, no, we don't have regs yet. It's still high risk, so let's hold off. Okay, fine, hold off. Then that money, maybe in a month, 2, 3 months when we get the regs, will be the next big wave of money. So this wave right here is the optimism on regs. What kind of waves are we going to get once we get the regs? What kind of waves are we going to get once we get those ETFs? And then, you know what the icing on the cake is, dudes and chicks, muchachos and muchachas? It's rate cuts. That's right. This end of this year is stacking up to be super hot. Now, Hester Pierce kind of peed in our Cheerios. And remember, my job is to bring us the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. There's kind of something here that she's bringing up that might be a sore subject for y'all. All right, but I got to share it because this is news, because you got to remember, she's an SEC commissioner. Hester Pierce warns tokenized securities are still securities. So all these players out there that are saying, oh, tokenize this, tokenize that, let's tokenize stocks and so forth. What she's saying is, look, you can tokenize stocks, you can tokenize securities, it still makes them securities. So no, you can't avoid the SEC's rules by tokenization. You still got to play. That's a big thing. We're going to have to pay attention to this. Hester Pierce, SEC commissioner, commented that although blockchains are novel technologies, it does not exclude them from existing regs. Pierce was addressing the question of tokenized stocks and the regulatory frameworks and practices that inform their use. The SEC commissioner stressed the need for tokenized stocks to comply with existing regulations. This is a big one. And the reason it's a big one is we're seeing a big push to tokenization. And we also need to see investor protection. Part of the problem we got with tokenizing stocks, you don't get the voting rights. You also don't get the same protections. So yes, you're giving equitable security access to a bunch of people out there, but you're not giving them protections. So if Crypto Mom herself says this is bad, that tells you what, everyone? Yeah, everything you need to know. Volume for crypto is absolutely freaking exploding. Up 74% from yesterday, and yesterday's volume was nutso. We're at $251 billion right now in volume. Altcoin season, well, that's the good news. We were sitting at 26, 27, 28 out of 100 before this move started. We're at now 30 out of 100, which means as BTC is starting to pump, the alts are pumping up stronger. Inflows, you know, they're baby. Look at this. 1.1 billion yesterday for BTC alone. Zooming out, you can see that, yes, big days here these last few weeks. We had some rough times here from February into March, but now April, May, June, etc. has looked juicy AF in the overall. Speaking of juicy, XRP. Oh my gosh. Have you seen the volume lately? Up 77%. Okay, so now look again. Regular crypto market up 74, XRP up 77, so right in line with it. Volume $8.7 billion. This is the one-day chart. Players are like, yo, bro, why do you got the 1 month chart? No, this is the one-day chart. From one day, we have gone from 245 to 265. Now, I already talked to you earlier about what's the big key we got to deal with. It's this right here. Busting through this ceiling that was created on the 12th of May and on the 14th of May. We bust through this going into crypto week. Yo, we might be eyeing that $3 range again, which would be hot AF. Now let's do this. Let's go to that 15-minute candlestick because I want to see exactly what's going on here. Look at this run. This is juicy. And this is just me zooming out over the last 4 days, everyone. That is the optimism that's being priced in the market right now based on the fact that we might get some regs and that we're going to get money coming from the sidelines because they're going to know what the tax rules are. Now, what do we got to pay attention to? It's this right here. This candlestick got us to a high of 270.95 when we were pushed down since. Now, remember, these are 15-minute candlesticks, so these candlesticks are just now starting to print and develop. So, will we be able to hold on to this momentum? Will we be able to keep pushing on through? Is 270 just a minor stopping on point for us to reload and get through it? Honestly, the volume looks juicy. As long as nothing stupid happens throughout the weekend, we should be good. And as long as nothing dumb happens in DC next week, we should have green up on the screen. Now, it is true that some sectors are moving better than others. And yes, some players out there like BTC are touching the all-time high, but right now it's green across the screen. And this is exactly what I have been telling you all about. The waves of money that are going to come in. No, you're not going to see some stupid ass straight up. No, it's going to come in different chunks as things happen. So as we get some legislative action, the people that are waiting for the regaronis, they're going to put their money into the market because they feel more comfortable. And then remember, once we actually get those regs actually done, signed, sealed, and delivered, then another wave of money will come in. Once we get the tax rules, the people out there, big business-wise, that sit on hundreds of millions and billions of dollars are going to be like, oh, well, we know what the tax implications are. We can invest this money that we've parked. That money then comes in from the sidelines. Then you got all the players out there that are like, but bro, money is too expensive right now to invest. We have to wait for rates to come down. Well, Jerome Powell should be cutting rates from the September meeting on. So then that will be another wave of money coming in. Then you've got the XRP and the other alts having their ETFs. Yeah, another wave of money coming on in. So we've got several big waves lined up. And fingers crossed, no one or nothing gets in our way of making the juicy action happen. But, we know that at any time, something can happen and the markets can poop themselves, right? We saw the one time Trump and Elon started spatting at each other and the market pooped itself. Israel and Iran, the market pooped itself. But right now, I'm not focusing on that. Why? Because there's green in the background, baby. Green lighting up the old Pokemon PSA 10 slabs, and green in lots of your bank accounts, and green on the heat map. Volume is there. We're going into the weekend ahead of crypto week with a lot of optimism. This is the most fired up I have seen crypto in months, and it can't come at a better time. So, what are we waiting for next week? Crypto week, baby. It's like Shark Week, but for us, crypto people. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo biz nachos.